I'm searching out the rarest cars in America, on the back roads, hiding in barns, untold secrets of pure muscle and steel just waiting to be discovered. Gold on wheels. Oh my gosh. My name is John Hames, and it's my journey to find them.
Yeah, hello, gorgeous. Look at that.
I am the American Car Prospector. The American Car Prospector is on the prowl.
The American Car Prospector finds himself in Colorado Springs today, chasing a lead on a one-of-a-kind car that he thinks might be extremely rare.
Well, I was in Colorado Springs and I got a call from my friends at Concourse Motorsports. And they have a restoration shop in Colorado Springs that's very well known for import restorations and for racing modifications. They had heard about sort of the holy grail of collector cars. So this guy called me about this Corvette race car that evidently his dad built back in the 60s. And it has a very rare type of mechanical fuel injection that I have never actually seen, but I have heard that these mechanical fuel injections are worth up to $20,000 just for the injection. So yeah, I think this is the house right here that looks like there might be a Corvette underneath that. Yeah, the guy's waving at me right there. Hey buddy, I'm John.
How you doing? I'm Dan.
Hey Dan, glad to know you. Thanks for letting me come by.
Glad to get to know you too.
Appreciate it. You get this thing shut off and the brakes set here. So I came driving up and Dan met me as I came up the driveway and there it was in the trees, kind of sitting down low under a tarp. It's a split window 63 Corvette fastback. And this car is especially important because it has a very rare fuel injection unit of which we think only about 10 were ever built. The car was owned by a Pikes Peak hill climb racer who used the car for SCCA racing and autocrossing, and then it basically got given to his son, and then it just sat under a tarp next to his house.
It's mostly been sitting there. I used to be frightened of the tailpipes when I was a kid.
Right. Well, let's uncork it and see.
All right,
let's
just grab that side.
Take this tarp off.
Should be loose.
Get the weeds out of the way there.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been sitting here for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Yes. Absolutely, yes.
And most of the original pieces are inside.
Oh, it's another good day to be the American Car Prospector. Look at this. And we went over there and pulled the tarp off of it. And I gotta tell you, my heart just skipped a beat. I mean, you know, I always say hello, gorgeous to these cars, and I actually couldn't even speak because I was so dumbfounded that we had this car.
I think the door's open too if you want to take a look in there.
Well, I absolutely do. Now let's see, it's just got some roller tires and wheels on it. Big old side pipes and headers. I mean, this is an old school race car here.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not concerned with how this car looked, you know?
Nope, the stories that I heard when they'd go autocross is they'd like have fun at night and change the color and stuff like that.
Is that right?
So yeah.
Awesome. This is a ridiculously great car. And it's been sitting here how long?
It's been in my house probably for 2-3 years.
Yeah, no kidding. Looks like there's some spares and stuff in there.
Yeah, that's most of the original interior. Like I said, he's got most of the stuff for when it was original, and then as it sits right now, pretty much everything is custom modded to be a race car.
Right. Do you have any other spares besides what's in it?
I think that there's probably some more stuff sitting around in my dad's house or in my garage a little bit too.
Okay.
So.
You know, obviously we want everything if we can.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know.
I put most of the stuff that I know belongs to the car in there. So.
Most of it's in there, yeah. Now the really cool part about it was that all of the original interior pieces, a lot of the body trim and stuff were just thrown into the inside of the car. And it's just not something that you'll ever find again. I really doubt that I'll ever find another 63 split window race car that could be brought back to original. So I mean, I was excited. Have you had the hood up in a long, long time?
You know, it's probably been since I tarped it last year that I've had the hood up, so I might as well open it. I'm sure it's full of leaves and something else special.
Yeah, who knows, there might be a raccoon or two in there, you know?
The unveiling of this 63 power plant when we come back on the American Car Prospector.
You have no idea how many times someone represents a car to me one way, and then I go out there and really get down on my hands and knees and look at it, and it isn't what it was represented as.
So far, the American Car Prospector is having a great day in Colorado Springs. He chased a lead on a rare 63 split-windowed Corvette.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
And it looks like this might be one of John's rarest finds. The original owner used this car as a race car, and his son Dan now has possession of it, and he's decided that maybe he isn't going to restore it, and it's been sitting idle for over 20 years.
Have you had the hood up in a long, long time?
You know, it's probably been since I tarped it last year that I've had the hood up, so I might as well open it. I'm sure it's full of leaves and something else special.
Yeah, who knows, there might be a raccoon or two in there, you know?
I think it's loose right now as it sits.
Does it just lift off?
It should lift up like this.
Oh yeah. Look at that weird, like prehistoric fuel injection.
Yeah.
That's like nothing I've ever seen. This 63 has a V8 in it, which is a race motor and not the original motor any longer. Obviously, back in the day when they made it into a race car, they had no idea that that original matching number engine would eventually make the car worth a lot of money. So that engine is long gone. But the motor that's in there has this super rare fuel injection unit on it, big old race headers, and you know, this is a race motor. This isn't a show motor. This is the motor that the guy used to get around the track faster than everyone else. This is like the holy grail.
When you can go either way with this one, you could go race car all the way, or you could put it back to the original.
Put it back to stock.
Yeah.
Although personally, I see no point in that.
This is what I would consider a true muscle car.
This is the dictionary definition of a true muscle car right here. And this is a really cool find. I mean, I tell you, I look at a lot of cars, and this one I have a real sweet spot for. I love Corvettes, and a 63 split one, though, has always been the holy grail for Corvettes, you know?
My favorite, too. I had a 57 convertible a while back that I had to flip, but this has been my favorite. I was afraid of the pipes when I was a little kid. I wouldn't walk by it.
I believe it. Yeah, you know, it really deserves better than this. I mean, there's cobwebs hanging off the fan belt.
It does.
Looks like there's a mouse house up here in the intake.
Yep.
You know, they probably had a nice little warm spot there in the winter, you know?
Or cold.
Or cold.
Colorado, I don't think you can keep mice out of things at all.
At this elevation, they probably needed all the insulation they could get. Well, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm just speechless. This car is so cool. I tell you, I have buyers for it all day long. I'm just a little sketchy here on what it's worth, because I mean, you look at that fuel injection unit, do the math, you know, this car is worth some dough.
It is, and it's also, I mean, for me, it's one of the things to pass on, but it's got a lot of sentimental value as well. I mean, the dream was to restore it, but that also takes a lot of money, and I have another passion in music, and sometimes this is on the side burner, so maybe it goes to somebody else.
So I have to buy the sentimental part of it from you as well.
Absolutely,
huh?
That's the unfortunate thing.
Well, look, the way it works is that I don't always find the least expensive car of its type, but what I do find for the guy that I'm looking for is I find the car that he wants, and it's a good car. Very cool to see this time capsule race car sitting there under a tarp in the trees at 8,000 feet outside of Colorado Springs. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that for the American Car Prospector.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff inside, the original panels, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's all the original gauges.
Yeah.
And let's see, it has a dash in it, but this must be the original dash
Yep,
because this had a red interior, right?
absolutely. The car was red and gold, I think, from the very beginning.
Okay.
And definitely a red interior. And my dad's had other red cars, but I know he painted them all black, so that would probably explain the black inside.
Right. Wow, that's something you don't hold in your hands every day, an original 63 Corvette dash assembly. What else is in here? The mystery box.
Yeah, who knows what's in there?
Yeah.
It looks like some kind of dishes, right?
I
I'm
seriously
sure it's a
doubt.
car part.
I seriously doubt that that's a set of dishes. I just seriously doubt. There's all kinds of goodies in here. Oh, this is so cool. There's the console. Like the armrest. And here we go. That is a Stingray steering wheel. Just exactly like Chevrolet made it.
Yep, a little bit bigger than the one in there.
It is.
Not as much fun to race with.
Right. Wow. I love holding that though, you know. I can feel the vibe. I can really feel the vibe when I hold that thing. That is very cool. There's some of the chrome trim and the, Dan, it just goes on and on. I mean, there's just stuff in here that never ends.
Absolutely.
There's the original visors.
I think you get the original chrome in there.
There's the door cards.
I'm sure there's parts of everything in there.
I mean, it's so cool. This thing needs to get to an owner who wants to do something with it, you know?
I would agree. I wish that owner was me, but
Wow, there's
time right now, it might be time to go pass on.
Well, let's talk about this then, because you know what? I am pretty sure that I've got a buyer for this. And I don't know if he's gonna go race or if he's gonna go resto. But let's let him make that decision, huh?
Well, I think one of the beautiful things about the Corvettes is you've always been able to do both.
That's true. What do you say we try to make a deal for this?
Yeah, we can see if we can try. Again, sentimental, but sitting in my driveway for 3 years.
Will John get the deal done on this rare 63 Vet?
So I'm thinking I'd like to get somewhere around 90 for it.
90,000?
Absolutely.
Oh, hold on.
Stay tuned.
east.
And let me get my hand in here so I can get shocked. Go ahead.
First shot. Nice, man. Hey. Nice job, man. Well, one of the best things about being the American Car Prospector is the people that I get to meet. And over the years, the car hobby has been very, very good to me. The places I've been able to go, the shows I've attended, the cars I've driven, the little bit of racing experience that I have, it's really been great, but the people are really what makes it go around.
That's what you call a 327 done tough 30-30.
John's got a hot deal going on this rare 1963 Corvette, which once was a powerful race car. He's going in for the kill. Dan shot him a price of $90,000, which did not go over well with the American Car Prospector.
You know, that guy's really a sweet guy. I really do like him, but he doesn't know anything about collector cars. I mean, he doesn't know anything about collector cars. I hate it when that happens because he's got the title, and chances are very good that car will still be sitting there on that driveway 20 years from now unless I make a deal with him. I've got to figure out a way to reach this guy that today's his day, that I'll give him the value that it's worth today, but I can't give him much more than it's worth. I've got to make a deal that makes sense for me and for the next owner. Well, Dan, you have a very special car here, and I think you know that.
I do.
And
Thank you for saying that, though.
And I'm sure you probably are not that anxious to part with it.
No, but sometimes you gotta do some things for other reasons.
Well, yeah, maybe time to move on. I've been in that situation myself. What kind of money were you looking for on this 63 Corvette split window with the fuel injection?
You know, it's pretty sentimental, and they are pretty valuable, and it's got some very rare things. So I'm thinking I'd like to get somewhere around 90 for it.
90,000?
Absolutely.
Hold on. It is a good car, I'll give you that. But I probably can't pay 90,000 for it. I appreciate your enthusiasm for it, and it is a great car. I was really thinking more like 40.
Ooh, it's not even half.
Well, talk to me. I want the car. There was a 63 split window that sold at auction at the end of 2012 that went for $262,000. So I knew that no matter what I had to give this guy, this was a really important collector Corvette. And look, this isn't your father's Corvette. This car is a real thug. It was a race car. It was a car that got used in competition, and it hasn't been babied its entire life.
You know, we've got most of the parts that you can go back and forth, whether it's original or race car.
Original race car, right?
I think that we also have a lot of work to do in this car, is one of the reasons why it's probably been sitting here for so long.
Sure.
So, might be able to come down to 75. It's a long drop for me, but your drop was pretty low.
50.
Ooh. I'm dropping more than you're going up. I don't know about that. I think I'm gonna have to stick at 75, or you're gonna have to come up and see where we can go from there.
55.
55, so we're both moving in 15.
Well, when I was looking at this 63 Corvette, to be honest, I was thinking I'd be willing to pay $63,000 for it, 63 and 63. Because to me, it isn't about that last nickel. It's about, did you get the car that you wanted? Is it worth the time and talent and treasure to own it, to store it, to restore it, and to keep track of it? If it is, then it's worth a little bit more.
But it dropped down to 70.
60. 61,000. We'll come pick the car up. I'll give you my banker's phone number. You can verify the funds. How about it?
Think about that.
$61,000. Would the money make you happier than the car?
Both make me happy. So I think I can do 61.
61? Shake on it?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. I promise that this car will get a rejuvenation and a whole new life from this point going forward, all right?
Absolutely. It feels like I'm letting one of my kids go that it's not one of my kids, but I would like to see it when it's done.
All right. I'm sure we can probably arrange that. This guy was tough. Originally I tried to buy it for about 40 grand. He just wouldn't do it. He knew what it was worth, and as I said, I probably would have even maybe given him a little bit more for it, but at 61,000, I think we did well. That fuel injection unit all by itself is probably worth maybe $20,000, so we did pay about $40,000 for a 63 split window race car.
So I was called about my 63 Corvette, and it's something that's been in my family for a long time, and didn't really want to sell it, but it's been sitting here for quite a while, and I believe cars were made to be driven and worked on, and I'm not able to do that right now. I'm busy playing guitar, so that's came, we made a deal, and be really sad to see it go, but it's going to go to somebody that's actually going to use it, and I look forward to maybe seeing it on the street someday.
Have you got the title paperwork and everything? Let's just take a look at it real quick.
Yeah, let's go take a look at that.
All right, perfect. Appreciate it.
Let's tally this deal up. Purchase price on this 1963 split window Corvette, $61,000. John's fee for finding this rare car, $4,000. John will be offering this to his buyer's group at only $65,000. The value of a fully restored 63 split window Vet. Unlimited. Looks like the American Car Prospector has done it again.
It's getting late in the day. It's cooling off. We'll be back to pick this guy up here pretty quick, and I'm going to see if I can keep this Corvette in the U.S. I don't want it to go to a buyer overseas. I want this one to stay right here in the United States. It's such a cool car, such a great story. This car is another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector.
So far this season, the American Car Prospector has found some great cars, and he's met some great people, like the time John met Stan with a 1974 42. John quickly found out that sometimes getting the car isn't just for the money, but there are far more important reasons.
First car I ever bought. It's my 74 42.
Get out. You bought that new?
No, in 78.
In 78, but it was your first car?
My first car.
Get out of town.
Yeah, no.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, I had it for 33 years, but
33 years.
yeah.
And the wife said you have to start sleeping in it if you don't sell it, huh?
No, actually the wife's kind of sick and we got a lot of hospital bills.
Oh, dear.
So I need to sell it.
Oh dear.
Otherwise-
Dawn, I talked to her
Yeah,
on the phone. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you meeting me, and yeah.
Sure.
Can we take a look?
Oh, absolutely. That's what it's about. 29 years of diabetes, and so it's all the complications. And 2 years ago, she had 2 heart attacks and ended up having 6 bypasses. So I got a few hospital bills there. So, it's not all going to that. We're going to pay some bills, but, I want to take her out a little bit. She loves the mountains. She doesn't get out too much. So, take a little time, take her up to the mountains, and kind of enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed this for 33 years.
And Stan had bought this car. It was his first car. It was a really great example of a classic American muscle car. He's a mechanic by trade, and he'd been through the front end and the steering and the shocks and suspension. And he'd really done a lot of work on it, but what he never did was the body work. Everything else was there. The car was complete, had a real strong running 455 in it. That's what I love about
That's
these
what
cars.
it's all about. You got it. Yes, sir.
Nothing like a muscle car, you know what I mean? It's a great car, guy. It's just a really great car, Stanley. It's nice, solid underneath.
I've always loved it. It's been my baby.
Yeah, it's got a good, solid trunk and floor plans on it. I mean, it's as good as it gets in this life, you know.
Yeah.
This is a great, great car, and I think it's worth every penny of what you're asking for it. So I'm not gonna haggle with you. It's worth $5,700 bucks.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. The real story about Stan is that he's a family man. His wife had been ill, and he didn't really want to sell the car, but he had to raise some money because they had some hospital bills that they just couldn't avoid.
I'm excited in a good way and also kind of a sad way because I'm going to see it go. But you know, if I got to sell it, this is the way to do it.
Not only did John do a great thing by getting this 442 and helping Stan to pay some medical bills, but he also gave Stan a little bit of fun at the same time. And when it comes to rare cars, John certainly has had his fill this season. He's had some amazing finds, like the Austin Healey he found in Colorado Springs.
And this is no ordinary Austin Healey. This is obviously something that somebody really cared for and put a lot of craftsmanship into. This was no salvage car. This was a absolutely pristine example of a Ben Healey. And this was, a $40,000 car that I think somebody would have just probably stolen from this little old lady if they didn't do the right thing for her. Yeah, it's John. I got in here and I got a look at this car. Babs, this is no junker. I mean, he put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's almost all here and almost all ready. Yeah, and you've got the title and the paperwork and everything. Yeah, look, even if you don't sell this to me, you need to get about $40,000 for this car. Well, normally, there's a lot of haggling that goes on in this situation, but I think this widow understood that she was in a situation where she really just needed to get it sold. And when I threw out the number that I gave her, I think she was delighted to take it. There wasn't any real haggling, and I couldn't give her more than that for the car. And to be honest, I couldn't really give her less. This is a great car, and it really deserves to go on the road. Yeah, $40,000. Okay. Fantastic. I had no problem at all giving that nice lady $40,000 for that car. It was a super great example, and the next owner is just going to put the engine in it, do a little fine adjustments, and put that thing back on the road. Very cool car. I think we did the right thing for this little old lady too, and I think I'd do the same thing again if I had the chance.
When we come back on the American Car Prospector, we'll revisit some of the crazy challenges John faced this season. Stay tuned.
Real slow. Nice. We don't know what's going to happen moving this car.
The American Car Prospector has had some interesting challenges this season, like the 1952 MGTD that he had to somehow get out of a building in downtown Denver.
The thing that I'm probably most worried about today is that we have too many unknowns in this situation. For one thing, we don't even know if that vehicle will roll. My assumption is that it will roll off that stand on the ramps that are there. That's just an assumption. One way or another, we're going to have to solve that problem. It's got to be able to be moved off that stand and down onto the wooden floor. That wooden floor was built over 100 years ago. We've got a lot of reinforcing under it, but there's no guarantees here. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen moving this car. I personally would like to drive this car very, very much, and we can't damage it in that process and still make that happen. Okay, whoa, Eric, come here, get on that other side, would you? And just hold it by the tire so it doesn't roll too fast. Okay, come on back. Good. Slow. Real slow. Nice. Two biggest risks financially in this are, number one, that the vehicle would be damaged in a way that would permanently affect its overall value. Right now, it's a pristine example of this vehicle, probably almost unobtainable here or in Europe. This is a classic collector car that simply can't be replaced if it's damaged. It's in immaculate, original condition. It's really a special car. We want to make sure we don't damage it, which would not only take all of the profit out of the car, it would mean that I would go backwards in this transaction. I can't afford to do that, and I need everything to go right on this particular move and this particular vehicle recovery. It's very, very important that it go without a single problem.
Out of gear?
Out of gear. Ah, that's what I'm talking about.
There you go, huh?
Looks like the crew have won the first battle. Now, they've got a plan to get the car right out the front door.
Okay, now the next time we do this, we'll know what to do. I am so relieved that we got that vehicle out off the ramp without the floor caving in, and then without it hitting the door and without it being damaged. I think the thing that took me by surprise the most was how hard it was to roll the car with the flat tires. I assumed that because it was so light, that it would be relatively simple to just get it to roll off the ramp, but it took a lot of horsepower, a lot of guys pushing on it and shoving on it to get it down onto the ground. That kind of surprised me. Nice job, Aaron.
Thanks, buddy.
I think the guys did great. We had guys with a lot of strength and muscle, and that's what it took to get this thing down onto the ground, out the door and onto the trailer without damaging it. My guys did great. I'm really proud of them today, really proud.
John also has had a few uncomfortable moments this season, like the time he met Jeff Holton and Jeff wanted to sell John his rare Porsche. Jeff also wanted to sell John his wife's Porsche, without telling her first.
Well, this one's the wife's car, right?
Yeah,
Are you sure you're going to be still living here in the morning if we make a deal on it?
maybe not, but you know, my wife said if I bring home one more old car, that it's going to be the end of us. I'm going to miss her.
You're going to sure miss her, huh? So we pulled it out in the driveway and we were looking at it, and all of a sudden I hear from the second story of the house, the windows flew open and this lady leaned out and started yelling, "You're not selling my car, are you?"
Jeff, what the heck are you doing?
Nothing, dear.
You're not selling my car, are you?
Yeah, watch me.
We need to talk, now.
I'll be right up.
And I thought, oh great, there goes that deal. Well, he went in the house and we could hear the discussion, we'll call it, going on back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Wonder what she's going to say this time. Just have to see. Yo,
What are you doing? You sold my car?
it's a Porsche liquidation today. I just figured that since you were going to make me sell the 356
You sold the 356.
first for $31,500.
What?
31.5.
Here come the remodeled bathrooms.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
I wish you had talked to me first.
Well, I got to figure that if I'm going to give up my 356, you're going to have to give up your 912.
All right then.
And then I can take that money and take a long vacation.
No more cars though.
Yeah, watch me. No more cars.
Well, that looks like it kind of worked out. That is if you're the American Car Prospector, not necessarily if you're Jeff. But either way, looks like John might get a deal going on this sexy black Porsche 912. Looks like Jeff's wife has visions of a new bathroom in her future.
Yeah, it was just another lazy day in Cheyenne Canyon, and up walks this, Wrangler with a cowboy hat and poking around all my old Porsches. And so anyway, my wife came and got me, and it looks like he's out to buy some vintage cars. And with things the way they are, I guess I'm out to sell vintage cars.
I can just smell a deal's getting ready to happen right now. I love the smell of a deal in the morning.
When we come back on the American Car Prospector, we remember some of John's new and irreplaceable friends. Stay tuned. The American Car Prospector has found a lot of cars this season, but also, just as important, John has made a lot of new friends, like Gus, who had a rare vintage Mustang Grande.
This guy strikes me as a real car guy, you know? And that Mustang looks solid. Whew, look at that, that beautiful, that's what they called grabber blue. That's not Ford blue because it's very close, but that's actually the grabber blue that only came on Mustangs.
Hi, John. Good to meet you.
Hey, glad to know you. I like a man in a cowboy hat.
Well, all right.
Up here in the high country in Colorado, you see that now and then.
That's it, yeah.
Kind of old school, you know?
That's how we roll.
That is how we roll in Colorado in the high country.
That's it.
That and beautiful Mustangs.
Yeah, that's a bad boy right there.
I believe you. That's what I'm talking about. Old school.
And it didn't take long for John to get this Mustang Grande out of Gus's hands.
But in it is all of the memories, all of the fun. You know, I couldn't go any lower than, say, 33 on it.
28.
No.
29?
No.
30,000 and we're done, buddy. I mean,
You got cash?
I'll make it happen.
got
At
cash?
30,000, but I mean, I'm done. I can't go. I got to make a living doing this, so you got to leave just a little meat on the bone for me. I work really hard at it. I found a really great car. 30,000.
All right.
Jake, 30?
All right.
You sure?
Yeah,
You're gonna handle the wife and the sister and everybody?
that's my problem. Yeah, that's my job.
Shake on it.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
You bet, John.
Man, that's a great Mustang. I know the next guy's gonna love it.
When it comes to finding rare automobiles, one of the American Car Prospector's most famous trademarks is putting an ace on the car that he's just claimed.
It's kind of a funny thing, you know, I remember when the guys were coming back from Vietnam when I was a kid, they used to talk about the ace of spades, and that's how I usually mark my cars. Looks like another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector, a Porsche 356. I'm the American Car Prospector, and this 442 is another ace in the hole. This Mustang is awesome, and it's another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector. It just seems like the right thing to do is to notify that car that it's one of mine. There's another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector. This old Buick Century, this 1955, is another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector. I can't wait to take it home. I don't know why exactly I do it, but once I put that ace of spade on that car, that's an American Car Prospector car.
What makes the American Car Prospector so special is his ability to pull rare cars right out of thin air.
What's that? Look at that right there. What's that? Okay, there's something down there.
This season, John landed over 19 amazing cars, leading the way with finds, muscle cars, with 8 awesome autos. Following close behind for the American Car Prospector, imports. John managed to land 7 of them in all, one being very rare, and the others all great finds. Last but not least for the American Car Prospector are vintage autos, finds that have stood the test of time. The American Car Prospector found 4 of those. The American Car Prospector is never at a loss for words, but when he sees a car for the first time, he always utters the same words, "Oh yeah." And Hello, gorgeous.
Oh man, I can't wait to see this. Oh yeah, hello, gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. Hello, gorgeous.
Lift it. Oh, hello, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. Let's take you out in the light of the day and have a look at you, shall we? Yeah, hello, gorgeous. Look at that.
Another one of John's famous trademarks is that certain stare he gives sellers right before he's getting the deal done.
5.
About 1,500, dude.
I'll go down to 4,500.
I mean, seriously, is the car for sale? $2,000.
I started out at 6, but yeah, now, you know, I'm down, I'll take 57, and that's just what I really need that, you know, that's kind of where it's at. And
What kind of money were you looking for, Jeff?
I'd probably take 20 grand.
20 for a 912E?
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe a little strong.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, why don't, okay, how about 10 grand? How about 10 grand for a counter?
Yeah, no way.
You definitely wouldn't take 9,000 for the car?
9. Well, how about I keep the books?
No, I gotta have them. I gotta have everything. I gotta have the owner's guide, the shop manual, the little Buick We Drivers book.
How about 11?
Let's see, 11. Well, you drive a hard bargain, my friend. What do you think about 10,500 for a little transaction that maybe you can move on? And I'm pretty sure that's going to please your sweetheart too. You think you could go at 10.5?
Yeah, I think I could probably. It's gonna hurt me, John. You're hurting me.
65?
Come on up a little more.
7?
You're getting close.
Well, I really want this car. I feel like I'm giving the farm away. How about 7,500?
Make it 8 grand and we got a deal.
8 G's?
Yep.
Today?
Today. Or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow.
Or the next day.
Okay.
So you got to go under 25. Well, how's about 24.5?
How about 19?
No.
Okay.
With the American Car Prospector, you never know where you'll find him out on the open road, looking for that next rare car. It is safe to say, if there's a rare or vintage car near you, you'll be seeing the American Car Prospector really soon.